Here's my stupid, shockingly simple sales funnel. You get online in this creator space, personal brand, making money off your knowledge, and you get overwhelmed by the tools and the softwares and the automation and the funnels and all that shit. I keep it really, really simple. Could I make more money if I had it more complicated? Without a doubt. But there's a trade-off. You got to figure out what's more important to you, simplicity or more money. And so here's my sales funnel. It's really, really simple. So I ditched my lead magnet. Now my main source to get into my ecosystem is my newsletter. I launched that in October of last year. A guy had posted, he's a newsletter guy. He posted on Threads about ditching your lead magnet. He made a compelling case for it, and I thought, I'm gonna give that a shot. So I did. And so I have a simple newsletter page. You can click it right down below. It's adamdukes.com/newsletter. And it just says, build your creator business in 5 minutes a day, something like that. And I say I email daily. I want that to be very clear. I do not want people to join my email list and then be upset or butthurt that I email every single day. And some people do get butthurt, but I try to make that known up front. I would rather you not opt in and know that up front. So I'm being very clear, and I'm trying to repel certain people. If you're gonna get butthurt about daily emails, do not opt in. And some people would be like, oh no, you gotta optimize for more. No. I want the right people on my email list. I don't want the biggest fucking email list. And my landing page converts right now, I think it's about 46%, which I'm super happy with. And it's just join my newsletter. I email every single day, and I email 6 days a week usually. I take Saturdays off, but sometimes I email Saturday. But I'm very upfront with that. And I do include my passive income cheat sheet, is what I call it. It's just a one-page document. It's my 5-step plan on how to monetize your knowledge with simple little PDFs. But I don't lead with that. It is mentioned on my landing page, like in the smaller text. It's not in my headline, like download this free cheat sheet, download this one-page guide. Wow, excuse me. That's the first time. I've been recording daily YouTube videos for the last 4 weeks. That's the first time I've had to sneeze on camera. I'm not going to edit that out just to go with my no edit style in one take, but sometimes that should happen. So anyways, I don't lead with that lead magnet. I don't say download the cheat sheet, figure out the 5-step formula. I don't say any of that. It is mentioned you get access to passive income cheat sheet. So I do mention it, but I don't lead with that. Usually you're going to lead with that in your headline and advertise that. So here's how I look at it. My content, my YouTube videos, my Threads, my Instagram, my Facebook, whatever content I put out on social media, that is my lead magnet. I want them to buy into the content and be like, I want to hear more of what this guy says. And that's why my newsletter opt-in is 46%. That's pretty damn good, without leading with a lead magnet and also letting them know up front, hey, I email daily. Usually that scares a lot of people off. But it's because of my content online. It's not like my structure. You can't look at my newsletter page and be like, oh, I'm gonna model what Adam's doing. You could try it, but it's not gonna work. It's because my content that I put out. That's why I get a 46% conversion rate with no lead magnet. And you can do the same with your stuff too. It's your content that's going to sell them, quote unquote sell them, not necessarily the headline structure, the landing page layout, or the whatever. Also, a lot of people when they download, and I'm not saying lead magnets are bad. I'm not saying that, but a lot of people will opt into an email list to get the lead magnet. And that's it. They're not that interested. I'd rather have 5 people opt into my newsletter because they like the content I put out on social media and they're sold on my way of doing things, as opposed to 25 people who want the lead magnet that I'm offering. So that's kind of the mindset I have. So that's step number 1. That's my entry point into my ecosystem is my newsletter. I plug it right down here on every YouTube video, and then I also schedule it usually once a day to post over on Threads. I don't do it every day, but I try to do it once a day on Threads. And that's really the only 2 places. Oh, I do have it linked in my Facebook profile. I'm not super active over on Facebook, but I probably get a couple of leads there. But that's it. They opt in, and then there's a thank you page where I say, please check your email in a couple of minutes, and then I embed one of my YouTube videos. One of the YouTube videos, I'll link it right up here, that's done really well. It's got like 20,000 views, people enjoyed it, it's got dozens, maybe even over 100 comments. So I embedded that, and I said, while you're waiting for your first email, check out this training I did below. And they get to know me, they get to see my face. It's a video just like this. It's just a YouTube video of me walking around the neighborhood, yapping about how I make $540 a day selling PDFs. You know, so they get to watch that video. And then they get into my funnel, my email list, or my email sequence, and I have one email. It's just my welcome email. And it's really simple. I don't pitch anything, I don't sell anything. I link to that training video again in the email, and I tell them what to expect. You know, I introduce myself, and then I say, this is what you can expect. I said, I swear there's spelling errors, I'm anti-political correctness. If any of this offends you in any way, hit that unsubscribe button right now. I don't want to waste your time. I tell people to unsubscribe in my welcome email, which I know is very like, contrarian. But I want them to, I don't want to waste their time. I don't want them wasting my time. I don't want them getting upset that I said a swear word in my email when it's like, hey dude, I warned you on day one. You know, and I do get people to unsubscribe, and that's totally fine. I don't give a shit about that. I would rather have them unsubscribe. You know, if swearing gets their panties in a bunch, or political correctness or victimhood and them blaming everything and pointing fingers, if that's their attitude, we have very different worldviews, and I do not want them around me, you know? So that's fine to push people away. It's gonna pull you people closer to you, and that's more valuable, getting people closer to you, than pushing those people away. Much more valuable. Pulling people in, if you get 5 people to come closer to you and you piss off 20, those 5 are so much more valuable than the lost 20. And I think a lot of people miss that part. It's really, really important. The people you pull in closer, they're infinitely more valuable than the 20 that you lost because you voiced your opinion or a thought or whatever it is. So they get on my email list, they get that one email, and as soon as they get that one email, and then they're automatically tagged with a master tag, which means that's everybody in my email database. And then I send out a daily email every single day at 4:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, I have no stats or data to back that up. It's just purely personal preference. I find most people, most entrepreneurs, email their list in the morning, and I just thought, well, if everybody's emailing in the morning, that's a pretty busy inbox. So I'm gonna email in the afternoon. So that's why I picked that. I don't know, it was 4:17 on my old email platform. I'm using ConvertKit right now, and I can only pick 4:15 or 4:20. So I went with 4:15. Again, no data, no stats to back it up. It's just what I do. And I've done that for months now. And I send out a daily email every single day. Again, sometimes I don't do Saturdays. Anywhere from 200 to 400 words. I'll do another video on how I do email, but the gist of it is I just tell a story. Basically what I do is I think of something that has happened to me in the last 24 hours. It could be business, it could be personal, it could be whatever. And I write a story about that. And then I try to tie a life and or business lesson into that story. And that's it. And sometimes I can't come up with a tie-in, a segue. Or yeah, a tie-in, I should say, not a segue. And so sometimes I'll go to ChatGPT and say, hey, me and my son were playing football this morning out in the street. We were playing pass. How can I tie a life or business lesson into that? And then ChatGPT will give me an idea. And I'm like, ooh, that's a good idea. And then I'll write the idea. So sometimes I cheat a little bit and I use ChatGPT for some help. But over the years, I've gotten better at tying like little life moments into like daily, into life and or business lessons. And then at the bottom of every email, I pitch my products. Very subtly, it's in the PS section. It's not a hard pitch, it's not a click the link down below and buy right now. It's gonna expire at 12 o'clock and if you don't buy, you're an idiot. It's no high pressure, nothing like that. It literally is like, here are 3 ways I can help you. And it's in the PS section. That's it. And I get anywhere from probably 0 to 3 sales a day, just via email. Very passive. Again, I don't push it or anything. Some days I don't make any sales, sometimes I'll make 2 or 3 sales a day. And then usually once a month, I will do some type of a promotion. And I haven't done the best job at this in tomorrow's YouTube video, so don't miss it. Hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna share how I did $2,600 last last weekend, Thursday to Sunday, running a promotion. I'm going to kind of break down the numbers tomorrow on tomorrow's YouTube video. But I'll do some type of promotion where I will be more aggressive in my emails. It'll be more aggressively sales pitch, you know. Again, I tie a story into it and then I pitch it. You know, it's not like casual down at the PS section. I'll link to the offer several times throughout the email. And then of course the last day I will email a little bit more aggressively, letting them know, hey, this special offer expires at midnight or something. And when my offers do expire, they fucking expire. I don't open it up for anybody. Every time I run a promotion, the following day, I will get people asking, oh, I missed it, I was busy, I was out of town, I was swimming, my dog ate my homework, I'm fill in the blank. And every time I say, sorry, you just be on the lookout for the next one. I don't let people in. I'm very strict with my deadlines. So when I say the sale ends at midnight tonight or Sunday or whatever it is, it fucking ends at midnight Sunday or tonight, whatever day it is. You know, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I opened it back up for 1 more day or 2 more days, or oh, the link broke. You know, I don't do that bullshit. You know, I want people to trust my word. And when I say something's going to happen or it's going to close, it's going to close. Now I'll let them know, hey, I'm going to run another promotion next month. Keep your eyes peeled. You know, but my word is much more important than a few random sales. So I'm very, very strict on my deadlines, and I got that from Ben Settle. He taught me that years ago. I wasn't always like that, I'll be honest. There was times where I would sneak people in because it meant an extra sale or 2 or 3. But over time that erodes trust. And I learned from Ben, when a deadline is over, it's fucking over. I'm sorry you missed it. I'm sorry your dog ate your homework. I'm sorry you had no internet service for 4 days, but the sale is over. No exceptions. And that's my funnel. Like, I mean, newsletter, they opt in, really simple. I have 1 welcome email, that is it. I don't have like this nurture sequence. And I'm not saying nurture sequences are bad. None of this, this is what I do. This is what works for me. You know, and that's what a lot of my content is I share what works for me, what I'm doing. I'm not saying it's the best way. I'm certainly not saying it's the only way. But it's what I'm doing. I have a newsletter. They sign up for the newsletter, but the reason they sign up for the newsletter is because of my content, you know, and then they get daily emails. And then I casually pitch at the bottom, and then I will do a, you know, some type of promotion once a month. And then also I will open up like my mentorship. Usually once a month as well, you know, not the same time as the promotional offer, obviously, you know, and then I'll open that up and some people will decide to work with me closer and pay $1,000 plus to work with me. That's my sales funnel. Now I do have others where I have lead magnets and email nurture sequences that I use on Instagram and ManyChat because it makes sense over there. But that's not my main thing. You know, I just do that on ManyChat. My main thing is just my newsletter, which I have linked on Threads, I have linked on Instagram, I have linked here on YouTube, and I have linked on Facebook as well. And that's my entry point into my ecosystem. And then once they get in there, they're gonna get daily emails. And then some of my daily emails, I'm sending them links to these YouTube videos, circling them back around. You know, in my process, I call it the creator engine. It's 4 engines, and I'll get into it some other day. But this is my email engine. This is how I do my email. And it's to nurture people, build relationships with people, have conversations one-on-one with people. And then, of course, it's obviously to sell things as well when it's time to sell things. So that is my stupid, simple sales funnel. It works for me. It takes the confusion, overwhelm, and complexity out of the mix. Could I make more money if I had tripwires and 3 upsells and a fucking 30-day nurture sequence? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But would I be able to sleep at night? You know, knowing that I kind of tricked and coursed people into it? I don't know. So that's how I do it. So anyways, if you have comments, questions, concerns about selling PDFs on the internet, drop them down below. I'll do my absolute best to answer them. Also, I do these videos once a day, Monday through Friday, where I just kind of ramble on a specific topic for anywhere from 8 to 12, or this time 14 plus minutes. If you like this style of content, make sure you hit that subscribe. I'm having a whole lot of fun doing these videos, and it seems like they're really resonating. People like that unprofessional, unedited, unpolished look. I screw up, I got sweat dripping down my face. You know, I don't got this fancy studio with all these bright fucking lights and all these cutting graphics and images and sound effects and music and all that. It's pretty raw, pretty real. Me just walking around. I haven't showered yet today, and it's 149. TMI maybe. Anyways, before I wrap it up, right here, this video right here, I dropped a couple of weeks ago how I'm earning $540. I break down everything that I'm doing, selling simple little PDFs on the internet. You can watch that. You can go implement it. You don't have to pay me any money. You don't have to buy anything from me. Go take what's in that video, run with it, and go stuff your piggy banks with more of the green stuff.